Hey folks, so in this video I wanted to talk about Tesla technicals again. So I just wanted to take a look at the last few days here. So as we can see, we've had some pretty crazy volume and we've also had some pretty crazy losses. So just yesterday alone, Tesla was down 11.41%. Now, the average volume for the month of December is right around 130 million. So, clearly the last few days we've been seeing some accelerated volume. Now, yesterday was some of the largest volume we've seen in a minute. So this was 208 million shares being traded. Now, the last time we had volume like this was on December 22nd, but then outside of these 2 days, we have not seen 200 million shares being traded at all in December. So these two were very big days. Now you can see that on December 22nd, we lost 8.88%. And the last big day that we had like this outside of December 27th was December 20th when we had a 8% loss. So going right here, this is when Elon sold. So even when Elon sold, we didn't see this much volume. So when he was selling, we saw volume around 140 million, 175 million, 109 million. This just clearly trumps all of that volume. So I want to go ahead and take a look at the technicals. So right now I am on the 30-minute, 30-day chart. And what I'm looking at right now are these two gray lines here. So this has kind of been dictating price action for the last, let's see, when was this? Basically since the start of December. So you guys can see this right here. It first acted as a resistance trend line where we're basically hitting resistance here. But now it's acting as a support trend line. So we have that support right there, and more recently right here. And take a look at this resistance trend line. You can see that it basically started right around here. We had these large pre-market openings, and then we would reject off of this line. So right here, right there again, there, and we've yet to touch that in a minute. So let's go ahead and take a look at this gap right here. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit. So if we were to fill this gap, that would be right around 122. So essentially what could happen is, maybe we could have a rally all the way up to 122, and then we hit the top of this trend line and we just reject again. So what I would like to see is ideally we break out of this formation. That would be a very welcoming sign for me, is for us to clearly break out of this and hold it. Holding it is key. Not just one day, not just 2 days. I want to see it being held for several days. Otherwise, it could just be like a 1-day pop, and then maybe it just fades the next day and it was just a false breakout. So let's just go ahead. Let's zoom out a little bit. Now I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these lines just so you guys can see the longer term trend. And now I'm going to go over to the 10-year 1 day. So if we're going to the 10-year 1 day, we've been in this falling wedge pattern for quite a bit. And then more recently, we broke out of it. So as you guys can see, we're clearly well below that. Now, where is support? Well, the first line of support is right here at around 110, which we're currently battling right now. We're right around 109.63. So we're battling for the support. Now, the next line of support is right here. It's right around 92.58. And let's say we're to break underneath this. Well, that would be a very bad situation. I would be looking at this pre-pandemic high, which is right around 63.75. We also see this little choppy pattern right here, which could act as support. So, this will probably be the next strongest line of support. So right now the situation clearly doesn't look good. And, if I'm just thinking about what would really look bullish, I'm looking at these two trend lines right here. So the prior falling wedge. So if we could get above both of these lines, now to see this line more clearly, I would need to extend it a little bit. So if we could get above both of these lines and then get above this gap, I think that would look pretty darn bullish. So on a technical standpoint, I think we would need to be well above probably probably well above 136 just to get above both of these lines right here. Now, where would I think that serious resistance were to come if we were to have some crazy rally? So if we were to have some crazy rally, I would think the significant resistance shows up right around here. So that would be right around like 174-ish, 175-ish. Now, I know it seems crazy to be talking about these numbers when we're at basically 109, but you never know with Tesla. Sometimes you see some crazy rallies. There is a lot of catalysts that could probably end up being good news for Tesla. So for starters is maybe the situation in China gets a little bit better, especially with the COVID cases. Maybe, the delivery numbers aren't as bad as people are expecting it to be. Maybe margins aren't hurt as bad. So we definitely do know that margins are going to get hurt with the price cuts. But maybe margins aren't hurt as bad just because on the supply side, they're able to purchase the materials cheaper. Or maybe they did end up selling more cars than originally thought, which makes up for that difference in margin. So there's a lot of maybes that could happen. So, right now we're definitely pricing in very bad situation, which kind of explains why we're selling off so hard. So where I really see that resistance showing up is right around that 175-ish area. It's slightly below this yellow bar of chop where we've been chopping for quite a bit. So let me just zoom out a little bit to show you that. So you can see that we've been chopping here for, let's see, this was right around the 9th of November to basically December 13th. So yeah, we've been chopping there for quite a bit. So if we do get back up to this area, I think that is where you could see quite a bit of consolidation, maybe even a sell-off. So definitely do be cautious around this area if we do get back up to it. But the first several bullish things that I would like to see is for us to fill that gap right around 122, for us to get above these two trend lines, which is the prior wedge formation. So now let's go ahead and let's look at a few things. So I want to go on Discord. Now I want to go ahead and let's type in a few things. I'm going to type in /DD year to date and then Tesla. So we can see in the last 5 days, we've been down about 20.83%. In the last month, we've been down about 40.34%. In the last 3 months, we've been down about 61.44%. And year to date, we're down about 69%. So you can see the majority of this down move has just been in the last 3 months. So basically this quarter. So this quarter has been absolutely terrible for Tesla. Now, I do want to look at just some basically what insiders are pricing this at. Or not insiders, I mean analysts. So I'm going to do /DD, analyst, and Tesla. So if we're just looking at the last few analyst ratings, right here we see it outperform, but it's a price cut, 316 to 252. We see another outperform, 250 to 175. So another price cut, a buy, but it's another price cut, 304 to 275. And then we see right here an outperform to perform. So it's a downgrade, but they didn't really list the price. Now, Citigroup is really the only one who did an upgrade where they went from sell to neutral. So they did 141.33 to an upgrade of 176. So I don't really pay attention to these price targets that much, but I do pay attention when they do a price cut or a downgrade or upgrade. So far we can see that the analyst community, they are basically very bearish on Tesla, and they're doing a bunch of price cuts on it. So, the analyst community, they want to see deliveries improve. They want to see increasing deliveries. They don't want to see decreasing deliveries. They want to see strong margins, but right now Tesla is cutting the prices. They're worried about demand, and obviously we have a pretty bad COVID situation in China, which makes up a lot of demand. So right now, basically, the analyst community, they're very bearish for all of these reasons. And, they also want to see Elon Musk step down as CEO of Twitter. So we need to see at least one or two of these things go in the favor of the analyst to essentially see a more sustained rally that is not just a bull trap. Now let's just go ahead and see what Elon Musk is saying. So right now he's up to no good again. You can clearly see he's not really. Yeah, I don't even have words for that. Basically, he's just screwing around on Twitter. It's what it seems like. Now, I'm pretty much going to end this video, but before I end it, if you do enjoy this Discord bot right here, this options fan bot, or if you do enjoy this tweet shift where I'm able to bring in Twitter feeds into the Discord, I definitely talk about how you can integrate these into your Discord feed and basically set it all up. So I'll link that down below if you're interested in both these bots, and have a great one.